All right, y'all. Welcome to Pop-Up Yoga in the park here at Pioneer Park. Excited that everybody is out today. So we'll have this again next week, and then we'll be breaking for like the next 3 weeks, and then I'll be back again at the end of July. So with that said, let's go ahead and ground down through our seat and lift the crown of the head all the way up to the sky. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Hands can rest, so palms can face up or they can face down, whichever you prefer. And allow yourself just to come into your breath. So nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Again, big inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Let's go for 2 more rounds. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. One more time. Really fill up. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. And allow yourself just to come into some normal breath. So breathing in through the nose and then out through the nose. So I always start off my classes from a space of gratitude. So give gratitude to the universe, this deep weaving of wisdom and knowledge and love. We give gratitude to this earth. And as earth, I'll also give acknowledgement to the moms, right, that keep us in line and call us in. So Mother Earth and the women of it remind us that we live in a space of abundance, that we ourselves are creative beings. Give gratitude to the indigenous peoples of these lands, the Crow, the Cheyenne, the Salish, and the Blackfeet tribes. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. Give gratitude for this practice of yoga and for Black and Brown people as the original creators and sustainers of this practice from a space of ahimsa, which is loving action, both on and off the mat. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. Give gratitude to our bodies and to ourselves, to our own ancestors and our own lineage, acknowledging both their truths and their untruths, and understanding we get to choose what it is that we continue to pass down and the cycles that we choose to stop. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. If there's a person or persons, place or places that you'd like to dedicate your practice to today, you can take the time to do so now. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. ready, you can slowly blink open your eyes, bring yourself back into the space. Practicing outside is so beautiful, right? We get to actually understand how small we are. Sometimes in studio spaces, the restriction can allow us to feel big, which is nothing wrong with that, right? But it's nice to be able to have that balance. Go ahead and slowly rock back on your sit bones and change up the cross of your feet. Ground down through your seat, and then slowly turn and look out past your right shoulder. Looking back behind you, relaxing and releasing. Maybe you roll back and down through your left shoulder, and then slowly move your chin through your center line and look out past that opposite shoulder. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. Inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, hands move down to your heart line. So in this phase of releasing, right, coming up to this new moon, which is next week. So in this space of letting go of the things that no longer serve us, and then also forgiving ourselves for coming into a space of acceptance for what is, and understanding the things that we can change and the things that we cannot change, right? And understanding the thing that we can change is our own behaviors and how we respond to our own emotions, right? Nice deep inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, flip the palms and slowly bring your hands down to your sides. Press down through your palms and raise through your heart and your chest. Let the energy of your palms kind of sink into the earth as you continue to straighten through the spine and engage the low belly. Slowly drop your chin down towards your chest. Big compression of your thyroid here. Maybe try swallowing a couple of times and then inhale slowly. Bring your chin back to center line and tilt your chin up to the sky, just relaxing and releasing through the front part of your throat. And slowly bring your chin back down to center. Take your right hand to your left knee and swing your hand back behind you. Lift through the crown of the head and turn, look out past that left shoulder. If you want to, your hand can come all the way around to kind of reach for the inner part of your hip. It's optional. It's nice to be able to use your fingertips to pull the crown of the head up so you can straighten through the spine a little bit before you begin to twist. So you're not sitting way back on your sacrum. You want to think about sitting on the front part of your sit bones. And then slowly bring yourself back to your center line. Same thing on that opposite side. Left hand to the outside of your right knee. Right hand swings back behind. Temp the fingers at the base of the spine and pull up through the crown of the head as you roll back and down through your shoulder. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, hold. One more time, big inhale. Lift through the crown of the head. Maybe the hand comes around to grab onto the hip. And then exhale, bring yourself back to your center. Take your fingertips out in front of you and crawl your fingers out. Engage your low belly and lengthen through your spine. Pressing down through your palms, relaxing and releasing in the crease of the hips. You can drop your head down to your mat, your blanket, or into the grass. But allow yourself to feel grounded here with your palms on the earth. And then slowly walk your hands back towards you. Rock back on your sit bones one more time. Same thing again. Fingertips come out in front of you. And then slowly walk your fingertips out. Engage your low belly. Keep your back nice and straight. And let yourself come down and over the tops of your thighs. Nice deep inhale here. So if there's compression happening tops of the thighs and the hips, just breathe into that space. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, hold. Again, big inhale. And exhale one more time, big inhale. Maybe you kind of shift back and forth side to side just to check in with any compression that's there. Press down through your tailbone and then slowly walk your hands back towards you again. And then go ahead and pop up on your knees and grab onto the front part of your feet. And you can roll over your knees and shins if that's in your practice. If you're like, my knees and shins don't go that way, you just kick your legs out to the side. And you bring yourself into a tabletop. So wrists are right underneath your shoulders and knees are underneath your hips. Your toes can be tucked or they can be flat to the mat. It depends on how, if you always default to one, maybe switch it up a little bit, right? You can always have this opportunity to kind of stretch through the feet. Slowly take your sit bones back down towards your heels and you can slowly move your chest forward, engaging your low belly and back. And if you go one way, make sure you balance it out and go that opposite way. And then bring yourself back into your tabletop and then inhale. Chest moves forward. Your tailbone stays tucked. You let your hip bones spread and then exhale. Pull up and in on your low belly as your head hangs super heavy here. And then inhale, chest moves forward again. Exhale, press and pull. And one more time, inhale, chest moves forward. Exhale, bring yourself back into your cat and then inhale back into your table. Let's thread the needle today. So let's go. Your left hand is gonna come underneath your face and then your right hand is gonna sweep up to the side. We have a tendency to kick to the side of the lifted hand in our hips. Bring them back to the center. Look up to the fingertips and then sweep the palm and come all the way down and onto that right shoulder as your hand can serve as a pillow underneath your head. You can also take it offside on the mat, press into the palms and thread that shoulder through, or you can take it out in front of you and look up underneath your armpit. If it's in your practice, you can also always extend through that leg and swing your left foot towards your right hand. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, hold. One more time, big inhale. Exhale. If your leg is extended, press into the back part of that arm as you sweep your foot back. Your knee draws underneath you. If your hand is extended out, bring it down and next to your cheek. Press into your palm and swing your arm high to the sky. And then exhale, hand comes back down. Inhale into your cow to balance out your spine. Exhale into your cat. One more time, inhale into cow. And then exhale into cat. Inhale, come back into your table. That right hand comes underneath the face and then left hand pulls high to the sky. Big inhale here. And then exhale, flip the palm and come all the way down onto that shoulder. That hand can serve as a pillow underneath the head. It can come offside on the mat. It can come towards the top of the mat. You can extend out through that heel and then swing that foot out if it's in your practice. If not, just stay with that knee planted down to the earth. You can also have the option, if your leg is extended or in the same space, hand can reach around to grab onto the inside of that left thigh. If you want to roll open through the shoulder a little bit more. Big inhale. Exhale, ground into the earth a little bit more. One more time, big inhale. And then exhale, slowly release. The hand can come down next to the face. Swing that knee back if its leg is extended, press into the palm. Sweep your arm high to the sky. And then exhale. Hand comes back and underneath your shoulder, balance out your spine. Inhale into your cow. Exhale into your cat. Again, inhale into your cow. And then exhale into your cat. Inhale, back into table. Tuck your toes and send your hips back and high, down dog. So in down dog, hands are nice and wide. You're gonna take the points of the elbows and they're gonna turn them towards you. So the eye of the elbow where you give blood is gonna look away from you. Press into that L joint between your index finger and your thumb. Make sure your thumb is involved in the posture and active. Press your hips high and engage your quads as you relax and release through your glutes and through your hamstrings. Big inhale here. Exhale. Maybe you take your gaze up towards your belly button
tucking your chin in towards your chest, creating some extra compression on your thyroid again. Maybe you try swallowing a couple of times just to help activate it there. And then slowly walk your hands back towards your feet, back of the mat. Let yourself hang heavy here, standing forward fold. You can always take your feet hip-width distance apart. Maybe you shift back and forth side to side. Just make sure that the stack of the hips are right over the tops of the femur bones, right? Or at least get a feel for where you are in or out of alignment in your joints. Okay. On the next inhale, hands move up the front part of the feet and the shins. They rest right underneath the knees. The crown of the head sails forward, the tailbone sails back. You engage your low belly and roll back and down through your shoulder blades. Try not to grip with the toes. Rather, press down through your big toe mound, your baby toe mound, and your heel, the bandha that's at the bottom of your foot. And you're thinking about drawing energy up from the earth. So your feet are kind of like that suction cup. And then exhale, slowly bring yourself down and over the tops of the thighs. On your next inhale, engage the low belly and then slowly sweep yourself all the way up to stand. Arms come high to the sky. Go ahead and grab onto your left wrist with your right hand and pull yourself over towards the right hand side of your mat. You're gonna roll open through your heart and your chest. Your palm can face away from you. And you're using, not a huge pull here, but you're sending your hips off to the left hand side as you're pulling your upper body over to the right. And then slowly bring yourself back to your center line. Go ahead and exchange the grip of the wrists. So left hand, right, into your right wrist, and then you're gonna pull yourself over this way. Big inhale. Weight of the body moves back into the heels. The right hip pulls forward, and then the left armpit pulls forward. Big inhale. Exhale, bring yourself back. Release your hands, tense your arms, and open up through your heart and your chest. Big inhale here. Little mini baby back bend. You can always take your hands to the low part of your back as well. Press up through your chest as you roll back and down through your shoulders and pull your elbows close together to touch. And then breathe all the way from the base of your belly up into the base of the throat. So nice deep inhale here. Exhale, hold. One more time, big inhale. And then exhale, pull yourself all the way back to your center line. Inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, bring yourself down and over the tops of the thighs. Pull up and in on the low belly. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale. Hands come all the way down to the mat and we walk ourselves out into a plank. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, hold. Press back through your heels. We're just gonna do a little shifting here through our plank. So you're kind of rolling through your feet, just kind of getting a sense for where your toes are at. You shift back and then shift forward so your shoulders are over your wrists and press back. We go for 4, for 3, for 2. Your low belly is still engaged in 1. Big inhale. Exhale, drop down to the knees and tops of the feet. Flip flat. Bring yourself all the way down to your bust line. You can point your toes and lift your legs so the front part of your quads come out of your hips. Pull your elbows in close to your side body. Chin is out on the earth and then inhale. Press down into the pelvis as you roll back and down through your shoulders. Your elbows are close. Big inhale here. Exhale, hold. 2 more big breaths. Big inhale. And exhale, one more time, big inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Tuck the toes, hands are next to the bust line. Press to your knees, and then send the hips back and high again. Nice deep inhale here. This time we're gonna spot right in between our 2 thumbs, and then step. Maybe step with the foot you don't normally step with first. Feet come up to meet hands. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, bring yourself down and over the tops of the thighs. And then on your next inhale, sweep yourself all the way back up to stand. Exhale, hands move down to your heart line. Inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, bring yourself down and over the tops of the thighs. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, hands plant, step, back into your plank. Nice deep inhale. Let's come into a modified gait. So drop down through that right knee and that right shin. And you're gonna take that left foot and swing it flat as your right or your left hand comes high to the sky. You can always kickstand this foot, so swinging it out as you reach here. Big inhale. Maybe you take that hand back behind you to even grab onto the outside of that hip. Again, optional. If you want to, you can also always try to float this top leg. Again, optional. Right? It's nice to try things because you can feel out where you're at, right? And then you have a goal of something to work towards, right? You might not get it on the first time. Try it. No one ever does. No baby just like stands up and starts walking. That'd be fucking weird. I mean, miraculous, but weird, right? So that's not what humans do. That's not what we do. So, right, you try and try and try again. And then slowly, hand comes back down to the mat. Come down to your knees. Inhale into your cow again. Exhale into your cat. And then go ahead and press back through your feet. Come back into that plank pose. Big inhale. Same thing on that opposite side. You're gonna drop down through that knee and that shin and flip that foot flat. Press. And spin your chest open. Big inhale. Again, remember, you can go ahead and take that foot and kick it out, kickstand it out. That'll help you with balance. Or you can try to keep your toes pointed toward the inner arch of that right foot. Remember, again, hand can always come back and around, kind of open up through the front part of your chest and your shoulder. And if you want to, you can always try to float that top leg. Hand can always stay high. You can also pull it towards the front of the room or in front of you, I guess. And then exhale, go ahead and release. That knee comes back down underneath your hips. Inhale into your cow. Exhale into your cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale, back into your table. Press back through your heels. This time we're gonna lower all the way down to our belly. Flip the toes flat again. Baby cobra one more time. Elbows are in close to the side body. Roll back and down through the shoulders, but heads of the shoulders. So shoulder blades roll back and down, but heads of the shoulders roll forward. And then you lift. Use the strength of your back and your spine. You can always gauge that by pulling your hands up off the mat. Press down through the tops of the feet and engage the legs. Big inhale. Exhale. Hands come down to the mat. Tuck the toes. Press to your knees. And then take the hips back and high. Big inhale. Exhale, hold. One more time, big inhale. And then exhale, spot right in between your two thumbs. Step, step, feet come up to meet hands. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, come down and over the tops of the thighs. And then inhale, sweep yourself all the way back up to stand. Nice deep inhale here. Let's do that side stretch one more time. Grab onto that right wrist with that left hand. Reach yourself over. Bring yourself back to your center line. Same thing again. Grab that left wrist with that right hand. Pull yourself over. Breathe here. And then bring yourself back to your center line. Release your wrist. Tense your arms. Open up through your heart and your chest. Big inhale. This time, let's go ahead and take our hands back behind us and pull down through your fists just to open up through your chest here. Big inhale. Put a bend in the knees. So you're coming into kind of a modified chair pose. And then release your hands and sweep your arms high. Big inhale here. Exhale, hold. One more time, big inhale. Exhale, bring yourself down and over the tops of the thighs. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, step, step. Back into your plank, nice deep inhale. Exhale, let's lower all the way down and hover this time as you pull yourself into your forward facing dog. You can always come into that from your knees, big inhale. And then roll over your big toes simultaneously as you send your hips back and high, hands stay nice and wide. Take your right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog, big inhale. Try to keep your hips in a nice straight line first. We have the tendency to want to drop into this outside hip, and that's great. right? But you want to make sure that your hips are in a nice straight line first. The lift comes from the hamstring and the glute, and then you put a bend in the knee and stack. Big inhale. Press down through that right heel as you press into that left palm. And then slowly shift your hips parallel back to the mat. Spot your your right thumb and step right foot up to meet right hand. Left foot hops out and over. And then inhale, sweep yourself high into a high crescent lunge. If high crescent lunge is a lot for holding, right? Strengthen the legs right now. You can always come down to a low crescent lunge and take your knee down to the earth. Okay, totally up to you. Big inhale here. Exhale, hold. Engage your back right glute. Think about shifting your right hip forward. So hips are in a nice straight line first to start. Exhale, drop your back heel. That hip is still trying to pull forward in your warrior one. Big inhale. And then press into the soles of the feet and come into your warrior two. Open up nice and wide here. So that front right knee is stacked over your right ankle and moving towards your baby toe. You're edging down through that back left foot. Big inhale. Exhale, hold. One more time, big inhale. And then go ahead and slowly pivot on the ball of that back foot. Come back into that high crescent lunge. And then exhale, bring yourself down. Runner's lunge again. If you're on your knee, hold in your runner's lunge for my folks in runner's lunge. If you are on your knees here, arms come high, you can always open up from here, right? And then bring yourself back. So it's more of a pivot on your knee. The grass and the ground is nice because it gives you a little bit of like natural cushion. You can always fold your mat over as well, okay? Taking the edge of your mat and folding it to the side and setting your knee down on it. If you need a little bit of extra. Hands come down to the mat or to the towel or to the grass. Pick up that back foot. Engage that back leg as you step that foot back to meet it. Press back through the heels and shift forward. Lower and lift. Big inhale. Exhale, roll over the toes simultaneously. Send your hips back and high. Same thing on that opposite side, right? Left leg high to the sky, big inhale. You can put a bend in that left knee, but first find that lift from the upper part of the hamstring and the glute. Hips are in a nice straight line. Heel pulls towards the glute and you stack. Big inhale here. Point the toes, open up through that hip, and then shift. Spot that left thumb and step your left foot up to meet your left hand. Right toes hop out and over. Find your footing first. Remember, you can always take your back knee, but inhale. Arms come high, high crescent lunge. Again, check in with your hips, right? You want to make sure that this left hip is pulling back, your right hip is pulling forward. Your front left knee is stacked over your ankle and the knee is moving towards your baby toe. Big inhale, arms high. Exhale. You can drop your back heel, come into your warrior one. Try to keep that hip shifting forward and then press into the soles of the feet as you lift and come into your warrior two. Remember, if you've got that knee down, you just open and shift through the hips. Okay, nice deep inhale. Exhale, hold. Two more big breaths, big inhale. Exhale, hold one more time, big inhale. And then arms lift. You pivot on the ball of that back foot and then bring yourself down and over the top of that thigh, hands plant, step, right foot or left foot back to meet right. Press back through the heels and shift forward. We lower and lift. Exhale, roll over the toes. Send the hips back and high. Spot right in between your two thumbs. Hold here. And then step with the foot maybe you don't normally step with. Step, step, feet come up to meet hands. Inhale, your hands come to your shins again, flat back. Engage your low belly. Let yourself fall down and over the tops of the thighs. And then inhale, sweep yourself up and into that chair pose. Big inhale here. Exhale, hold. One more time, big inhale.
and then ground down through your feet and bring yourself all the way up to stand. Nice job, y'all. Okay, so let's go ahead and run through one more sun B, and then we'll bring it back down. We'll kind of modify and add to this a little bit. So at the top of the mats again, inhale, arms sweep high to the sky. Exhale, come down and over the tops of the thighs. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, step, back into your plank. Nice deep inhale. Let's come into that side plank this time. So rock to the outside of that right foot. Left hand plants and grounds, and then that, outside of your right foot, right hand plants and grounds, left hand high to the sky. You can always float your leg here. You can also always take a knee. It's in your practice. You can always take kind of this side plank tree, pressing the sole of your foot to the inside of your thigh. Options. Big inhale. Go ahead and step that left foot back behind you and lift. Wild thing. Big inhale. Exhale. Pull yourself back to your center. Same thing again, opposite side. Rock to the outside of your left foot. Right foot can stack or stagger that right hand up to the sky. You can float that foot. You can always drop to the knee. If you want to, you can take the sole of the foot to the inside of the thigh. Press and pull those fingertips towards the front of the room. Release that foot and bring yourself into a wild thing. Foot steps back, you lift through the hips. Shoulder is stacked over your wrists. Make sure your thumb is engaged. And then slowly bring yourself back. Press back through your heels. Shift forward. We lower and lift. Big inhale. Exhale. Roll over the toes. Right leg high to the sky. Big inhale. We're gonna shift forward this time. Right knee, left elbow. Leg moves back and high. Knee to nose. Press and round and hold. Leg moves back and high. And then right knee, right elbow. Leg moves back and high. Spot your right pinky and step your right foot wide as you hop your left toes out and over. Drop down to your left knee, and then you can bring yourself, you can hang out here, that's fine, or you can bring yourself down and into a lizard lunge. You want to make sure that this front knee is not going beyond your toes, still stacked over your ankle, so maybe you need to crawl your feet out a little bit more, but relaxing through that front hip flexor and then the inside crease of that right hip. Nice deep inhale. You can also always play with this one too. You can take your back knee up off the mat by coming onto the ball of that back foot. You can also have that back foot flat and press down and come up, and so you can get into the front part of that hip flexor a little bit more. Again, play around with it, but be mindful about it as you do. Nice deep inhale. And then go ahead and take that left hand underneath your face, put a bend in that back left knee, and that hand can swing around to grab onto that foot. Kick into the hand and open up through your chest and your hips. Breathing here. Big inhale. Exhale, hold. 2 more big breaths. Big inhale. And exhale. One more time, big inhale. Exhale, slowly release. And then you're gonna heel toe your foot across your mat, coming into your half pigeon. The more of a straight edge that you have with your shin to the front part of your mat, the more of the tweak on your knee. So you can have your foot really close into you. You just wanna make sure that you're not dropping into this right hip. So bring yourself back to your center line. Leg can come out this way. Nice deep inhale here. Hold. Okay, you can stay here. You're strong in your legs, and if you want to, you can bring yourself down and over the top of that thigh. Forearms come all the way down to the mat. Nice deep inhale here. Exhale, hold. 2 more big breaths. Big inhale. And exhale. 1 more time, big inhale. And then exhale, bring yourself up. Take that hand back, put a bend in that knee. You're gonna grab onto the inside of your foot and pull it towards you. And the top of the foot is gonna creep up into that elbow, right? Or not, right? Really depending on how you're feeling today. If it's in your practice, you can always, I like to come into mermaid this way. I grab my baby toe and then turn this elbow up. This is a big ass back bend, y'all. So you wanna be very mindful. Hand can come back, head rocks back. And then head and foot touch. And then slowly you release it the same way you came out. Release your head, try not to ever let anything catapult. Hands are gonna plant. You're gonna pull yourself up, tuck your back toes, press yourself up and off of that foot and step that right foot back to meet your left. Press back through your heels and shift forward. You lower and lift. Big inhale. And then exhale, roll over the toes, send the hips back and high. Left leg high to the sky. Big inhale here. Same thing. Shift forward, left knee, right elbow. Leg moves back and high. Knee to nose, pressing around and hold. Leg moves back and high. Left knee to left elbow. Leg moves back and high. And then spot your left pinky and step your left foot up to meet your left hand. Hop your right toes out and over. And again, you can come down and on to that back knee. And if you want to, you come down onto your forearms. If that's not in it for you, right? Stay high, right? Always go high, y'all, right? Going low causes for injury in many ways, right? But thinking, right, if you want to drop down onto your forearms, you want to still think about keeping your chest lifted. Big inhale. Exhale, hold. 2 more big breaths here. Big inhale. And exhale. 1 more time, big inhale. And then exhale. Go ahead and slowly come back to your palms. Put a bend in your back knee. And then take that hand around to grab onto the inside of the foot and pull that heel towards you. Relaxing and releasing and through the front part of your quad, right? And then letting that hip relax and release. Everyone good on that? Okay. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, hold. 1 more time, big inhale. And then exhale, slowly release. You're gonna slowly heel toe that foot across your mat, coming into that half pigeon on this side. Remember, the more of a straight line, your shin to the top of the mat, the more you could tweak your knee. Your knee can go in a lot of directions, right? However, when it goes in a direction it shouldn't go in, injury can happen. So we want to make sure that we are mindful and understanding the difference in our bodies when it comes to discomfort and pain. On the other side of discomfort is usually change. On the other side of pain is usually just more pain, right? So we really want to be mindful about that in our practice. Nice deep inhale. The more we're mindful of it within our bodies, the more we'll be mindful of it, right, within our hearts and our emotional space. And it allows us to break those cycles and habits that we talked about earlier, right? Within our ancestral lines, right? We're more mindful of stopping things before they start, or if we get too far into the process. So nice deep inhale. And again, if you want to come down onto your forearms, you can always take that opportunity in time. Big inhale. Exhale, holds. 2 2 more big breaths here. Big inhale. And exhale. Giving your body permission to release in the outside of that hip. And then go ahead and slowly come back up to your palms. If you want to, right, you can put a bend in that back knee. And then like you're hitchhiking, come back and grab onto that foot from the inside of it. And then you let that foot creep up into the crease of your elbow. If you did mermaid on the first side, maybe you want to give it a try on this side. Okay, nice deep inhale. Exhale, hold. If you're in mermaid, making sure that you stay with your breath. Relax and release. Again, always optional, y'all. It's nice to see where you can go with body. And if you're like, I'm not going there today, that is a wise option, right? We default. Had a conversation with Andrew Moon, who is a really incredible reggae producer and musician. He just put out an album called Brown Bones. There's rumor that he might be coming here, so keep your eyes open. But we had this conversation of defaulting to the wise. Him and I talked this morning, so go ahead and press into your palms and lift yourself off of your hip. Step that foot back, press back through the heels and shift forward. Lower and lift. Nice deep inhale. And then go ahead and just drop down to your knees and then send your sit bones back to meet your heels, child's pose. Crawl your fingers out in front of you. So after that back bend, nice way to counter, right? Always in yoga, we're thinking about doing one thing and opening up one way and then closing it off the other way, right? So we're thinking about counter, we're always thinking about balance. Nice deep inhale. So breathe into the back body. A lot of times in yoga when we're talking about breath work, right, we just tend to have a thought of, and the majority of us kind of are like shallow lung breathers, you know, so we kind of keep our breath in the upper part of our chest. We're really thinking about being intentional about how and where we're drawing our breath. So whether that be in the base of our bellies, right, or to different parts of our back, right? There's multiple cavities within the body, right? Back of the head, tops of the chest, right? Your low back, right? So thinking about finding that space for expansion, right? And you use your breath to expand yourself, both your consciousness, right? But also physical space. When we're talking about clearing and letting things go, let your breath help you to do that. Big inhale. Exhale, hold. One more time, big inhale. Crawl your fingers out in front of you and then slowly walk your hands back to your knees. We're gonna go ahead and shift over and onto our seats. And then we're gonna come into a double pigeon from here. So double pigeon, a lot of times people call double pigeon burning logs. I taught some older adults, older women, like in their 60s, and that's what they referred to it as when I was up in Missoula. I thought that was very comical because that's kind of what it feels like. So you're gonna take the edge of your left shin and line it up with the front edge of your mat or your blanket or your towel, right? And again, being mindful of your knee, right? You're gonna wanna probably pull your foot out and away from you a little bit more than you thought. And then you're gonna take the ankle of that right leg and you're gonna stack it on top of your left. I like to do kind of a little lift and shift with my seat here to make sure I'm on the front part of my sit bones, right? And you might have a huge gap here, right? That's fine. If we were in studio space or if you have blocks at home and you ever wanna bring them, you can take your block and put it underneath in between your ankle and your knee. Flexing that foot though, and then allowing yourself, so it's like a thinker, right? So you come down and apply a little bit of pressure here and a little bit of pressure here. But you're gonna lead with your heart, pulling yourself into it. So you're really thinking about opening up through the outside of that right hip. I like to interlock my fingers here, right? Into more of, I guess just interlocked hands, but a certain form of prayer hands, you know, we think about it sometimes this way, but also this way, right? So you can always use it as a space to kind of massage through your hands too. But again, once you find a little bit of ease in the posture, then maybe you pull your chest forward a little bit more and pull in on your low belly a little bit more. 2 more big breaths. Big inhale. And exhale. 1 more time. Big inhale. And then exhale slowly. Pull yourself back up. Go ahead and take that right knee and place it into the crease of that left or right elbow. And then you can take the sole of the foot and place it into your left elbow. If that is a reach, you can always bicep curl your leg and then hug and rock this way. You're just thinking about kind of creating some space. Nice deep inhale here. Up through your heart and chest. And then slowly go ahead and release. Same thing on that opposite side. So you're going to take the shin of that left leg or right leg. Hi, how are you?
Good. You just leave it in there?
And then you're going to go ahead and take your ankle on that left foot and you're going to stack it on top of your right leg. Nice deep inhale. Lift and shift through your seat. Again, be really mindful of your knees here, right? Your leg can stay lifted, right? You can also always like throw your mat and roll it up this way, or a blanket at home. It's nice like for a towel. You can always throw a towel underneath it and stack it too if you don't have yoga blocks yet. That's always an option. So go ahead and slowly pull yourself down and over. Pull forward with your heart and your chest. Relax and release through your seat. Remember, you can always do a little lift and shift here. Big inhale. And remember, again, you pull forward with your heart. And think about flexing through both of your feet a little bit more. That'll help you open up through the outside of that left hip just a little bit more. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. One more time, big inhale. And then exhale slowly, pull yourself back up. Again, knee into the crease of that left elbow, sole of that left foot into your right elbow. Lift through your heart and your chest, and maybe you just shake it out here. Or remember, you can always bicep curl that leg. Nice deep inhale. And exhale. I'm really appreciative of these people over here doing Tai Chi too. They've been at it since we got here. So, good energy all around, y'all. And then go ahead and slowly release. Take both of your legs nice and wide. Lift through your seat. And then shift yourself forward. Okay, so it's a little kind of like lift and shift action here. Lifting and shifting. Toes can be flexed. Again, this is one that I like to take my seat and manually move my cheeks back behind me. Right? Hands come out in front of you. And we're not necessarily rounding into ourselves in this one, right? You're thinking about taking your chest and coming down with a nice flat back. So you're just hinging over the tops of your hips and opening up to the inside of your thighs. Pulling yourself forward here, letting your hands and palms rest into the earth. Right? Allowing your perineum, right, and your root chakra area to really kind of press down into the earth and absorb that energy. We don't do this often. Yet another reason why it's really nice to practice outside, y'all, right? We miss out on so much, right? So much benefit and healing comes from like the earth, and I think it's important to recognize one, a space of gratitude that we give back to it. Like I always see, like practicing outside is us kind of like massaging through the earth. Like who doesn't like to get a massage? And I feel like the earth is that same way, right? So really enjoy yourself in your space here. Big inhale. Exhale, hold. 2 more big breaths, big inhale. And exhale. One more time, big inhale here. And then exhale slowly. Walk your hands back towards you. Take your hands underneath your knees. Pop your knees up. Bring the soles of the feet together to touch. Let your knees come out to the side. So Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Move your seat back behind you. The closer your heels are towards your groin and your root chakra, the more you'll open up through your groin. The further your heels are away from you, the more you'll open up through the outside of your knees and the outsides of your hips. So if you always try to pull your feet in towards you really closely, maybe take them out and away from you. If you have IT band problems, right, taking your feet further out away from you might be a really good thing for that. Nice deep inhale. And then again, we're just coming down with a nice flat back. I like to use my elbows on the inside of my knees to kind of help ease me into it. But again, be mindful of the opening that you're creating here. Big inhale. And then if your feet are further away from you, you can always take your third eye and aim it for the arches of the feet. Slowly plopping in on your low belly. Take your knees to your center line and then take your feet out in front of you. Lift and shift your seat again, right? We have a tendency a lot in our culture, because I think our backs get so tired from all the sitting that we do, that we start to like sit down and compress our sacrum, and that's why I have so much issue with like sciatica. So really think about pulling yourself up, right? And being on the front part of your sit bones rather than on your femurs and back on your actual sacrum space, right? And then arms come high to the sky. And then on your exhale, bring yourself down and over the tops of your thighs. Flex your toes back towards your face and drop your elbows to either side of your calves as you continue to pull the crown of the head forward towards the top of the feet. Feet are still flexing in towards the face. And then round into yourself. Tuck your chin in towards your chest and maybe bring your forehead down to meet your knees. And then slowly let yourself come back up. Walk up the front part of your shins. Scoot your seat forward. And then slowly, maybe next week we'll do abs, y'all. But not today. Go ahead and bring yourself all the way down and onto your back. Your feet can be out in front of you. Let your toes hop out to the side. Come into your Shavasana. I like to take my hands to the low part of my back and kind of just lengthen through the low back a little bit. You can always move and adjust your seat. And you can take as much space as you want to. If you want to take your legs even further and wider, you have that option. Nice deep inhale here. And exhale. Again, nice deep inhale. And exhale. Folks that don't know me yet, I'm really big into oracle cards. I think they're fun. No, but I think that they actually provide you with a lot of guidance. I think that there's a lot of time for people that do put them together between the artwork and the visioning. With that being said, I do believe in energies coming together in spaces, so pulling this based on the spirit in the space and something to send you all off with into tomorrow. If folks want to come out, we will be out flowing on Saturday. We're going to be over at Rose Park because I think that Riverfront Park is going to be a little squishy still from the flooding. But folks are more than welcome to join us. We'll be to the right of the water park starting at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday. So, card for folks to take with you. So just some parting thoughts. Card drawn is around hostilities, which is conflict and unrest. The priestess in this card kneels next to a panther with her arms raised to the moon. Drawing on the power of light she holds in her hands. The panther is growling, baring its teeth in fierce protection, warning any intruders to beware. There may be a person or situation in your life that is abrasive or upsetting in some way. Or perhaps something coming in the near future might make you feel defensive. Either way, this card is telling us to gather our resources and turn to the guidance of our own divine light and our own courage. Become more conscious of the people or situations that may be zapping your energy or your sense of power. There may be a family member, a coworker, or draining obligations that has taken a toll on you. Even if it has gone on for quite a while, it's finally time to choose to protect yourself and your own energy. This choice may cause others to be upset or even hostile. You may be tempted to diffuse the conflict by giving in, but that old unhealthy pattern must be resisted. You don't have to give in to the habits of fear anymore, so don't shy away from conflict or unrest. You deserve to act on your own behalf. Be brave in the face of confrontation and know that you are capable of seeing it through to the other side. You have the fierce determination and strength of the panther within you, and the light of divine assistance is always on hand. Affirmation for folks. I am strong and resourceful in any situation. I believe in myself and in my ability to take charge. Again, I am strong and resourceful in any situation. I believe in myself and in my ability to take charge. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. And one more time, nice deep inhale. And exhale. And when you're ready, friends, you can slowly press yourself up from your simple seat or into a simple seat. When you get into your seat, hands can come to your heart space. They can also go one hand to heart, one hand to belly. You can also rest down on the knees, palms face up to receive energy around you, palms face down to help ground. The divine light, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and the divine love in me sees, honors, and reflects the divine light, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and the divine love in each of you, the collective we, and all of us. Thank you all for sharing your practice with me this afternoon and for trusting me with your bodies, hearts, spirits, and souls. And to that, I say go in peace and remember to serve love always. Thanks so much, everyone.